What's up, carrots? Welcome back to Redemption 46 Studios. I'm Nick.
I'm Jarek.
Hi.
Y'all know the vibes. Y'all saw the picture. I seen the thumbnail. Y'all know why y'all here. 17, fuck my life. Well, no, don't fuck this channel. You hit that subscribe button and become a real redeemer today. Also, for more fire content, jump on the Patreon. We're gonna be getting into the live version today. Exclusive drop. We got the Woozy interview with Suge. That's gonna be up on there as well. Hype Games is up on there. Live 17 stuff is up on there. No long talk. Let's jump into this banger. Caught you. You weren't subscribed and you almost got some fire ass content. Got caught. Hit that subscribe button. I gotta start adding it in to the joint so they know what you're talking about.
It's tough.
I like that.
나만 바보 됐어 잊어버리자 이렇게 웃어버리자 이렇게 되도 않는 위로를 해봐도 집에 돌아가는 길에 울고 싶어 계속 사라져가는 내 모습을 다시 찾고만 싶어 어릴 때마다 영화에 나오는 주인공과 내가 될 수 없는지 내 맘을 가지고 미세 너무 심장 바꿔줄 사람 어디도 없나 이런 빌어먹을 세상 나만 혼자 받아봤어 갈 길을 잃은 채갈 곳을 잃은 채 나만 바보 됐어 지금부터 fight for my life 나를 위해 fight for my life 무뎌진 미숙한 세상에서 이제 나는 나를 찾고 싶어 점점 난 지쳐가 혼자서 꾸는 꿈 이제 너무나 지겨 그만두고 싶어 난 나에게 언제 나에게 부끄러운 내게 되고 싶지 않아 되도 않는 다짐을 해봐도 바보 같은 내 모습이 웃어 울고 싶어 계속 세상이 많이 무너졌어 내가 작아지는 기분 말할 수 없는 비밀이 또다시 눈물이 나지 난 부끄러워서 누구에게도 말을 못했지 나와 하루만 심장 바꿔줄 사람 어디도 없나 이런 빌어먹은 세상 나만 혼자 바보 됐어 갈 길을 잃은 채갈 곳을 잃은 채 나만 바보 됐어 지금부터 fight for my life 나를 위해 fight for my life 느껴진 미숙한 세상에서 이제 나는 나를 찾고 싶어
I wish that was incorporated a little bit more. That's fire.
Nice. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, it's funny. Songs called "Fuck My Life," but it's like "Fight for My Life."
Yeah, I think, that's kind of one of my favorite things about this is the fact that it is a very dark and a deep sentiment, thinking about just thinking about your life in retrospect and sometimes feeling small in the big universe. I think they did a good job balancing, the dark thoughts with a happy ending and with some hope. You know what I mean? Sometimes when you make sad music, you don't want to drown in the sadness because the reality is it's a little bit of hope there, you know. And I love how the video started with just everything like turn. If you could just go back to the beginning, it's pretty cool. Everything turned off. All the lights behind them just turned off. Maybe symbolizing how, you know, he's a night owl, and sometimes at nighttime, this is when you feel kind of the most vulnerable. I feel like as people, when the rest of the world is kind of like off, you know what I mean, or like they're sleeping or not in tune, you kind of feel like a sense of freedom, you know. At like 3 o'clock in the morning, you be having all types of thoughts about saving the world, and also thinking about how your life sucks and all of that. You know, I can relate to that, you know, being a night owl, and finding myself trapped in my own thoughts. I love the fact that there's not like a lot of choreo going on here. It's mainly just storytelling. I loved all of the shots, all of the visuals were on point. This is a group that clearly isn't afraid of darker tones, and taking a more mature approach to things. Even the fact that they were cursing in this just goes to show that, you know, sometimes to convey a certain message, you gotta break certain barriers, you gotta cross certain lines. And they did a good job overall, just executing the whole "fuck my life" vibe. Like once you hear that, you know, you kind of all can already kind of expect what the vibe is gonna be. And they did a really good job of not like making it cheesy. I'll definitely listen to the song again.
Yeah, I agree with what you were saying. It was kind of interesting that they were using, like, you know, they was cussing in this joint, because like that's not something you normally hear in K-pop, but it's nice because it does punch home, like that message of trying to figure yourself out, figuring out your life. And sometimes you do feel like, you know, like, screw this joint. But I think the thing that I like is it shows them in different spaces, and it conveys how you feel in those spaces, like running out of an office building and kind of just like you feel trapped in those kinds of environments. And then you're just looking up at the stars, and sometimes that's where you just feel like everything is hopeful. And that's where it's like, I could go and do anything. Maybe my life isn't that bad, you know, or, you know, just trying to figure out what you want to do and just being able to dream. It's interesting that this type of music, especially when it's dark like that, like a lot of people really gravitate towards it or relate to it, because I think deep down people try to keep that childlike innocence that you lose when you become an adult, and then responsibilities kick in, and, you know, people are asking you what you want to do with your life and where you want to go, and you just want to kind of just be free and that. So yeah, you kind of feel like, in a sense, you're fighting for your life, you're fighting for your innocence or your childhood, just to
Fighting
be
for your
that
freedom.
kid. Yeah, to have that.
Can't stay in Neverland forever.
Right. But if you can keep that, what was it Robert Williams say? Keep that spark of
Not imagination, but
spark of madness.
Yeah, it's something like that. I know just one from Hook.
Yeah, that's my favorite saying.
Just keeping that and like
favorite
holding
quote.
it down. Like, as long as you can maintain that, but sometimes, yeah, life can be a little bit much.
Yeah, no, I do. I love this. Not gonna lie, the song was like, it was vibing at first, but I think when DK came in, like on the second like verse, his cadence kind of like picked it up for me and made me kind of soak into the song a little bit more. The production definitely gives kind of like 90s hip hop vibe with some of the beat progressions that they have going on in the background, but with more of like a pop and a hopeful like pop sound. But I just love this, man. It looks like it gives a look on, like, you know, people who quote unquote have like a mundane life, or like life is pretty boring. But it seems like a feel good message, as far as like being able to kind of tell people that regardless of being in bad circumstances, you still can strive to do things that you want to do, or just be great regardless of everything else that's going on. And, you know, just kind of message and commentary like that is decent. Like, essentially, even with a lot of them, they seem like they were trying to run away from shittier, dark places. Like, look, even the landscape and everything is completely dark. At the end of the video, by the time they get to the beach is super bright and the storm is behind them. And they look like they're all together and finally about to kind of leave the storm and go off into paradise or a better place and shit. And it's just, you know, it's an amazing message. And I feel like, you know, mental health and everything is something that is finally getting touched on now with these newer generations that are growing up, where it's kind of a easier place to have these conversations. We all were born during a time, especially like in the 90s and everything too, where, you know, you couldn't talk about certain things. And we're all, you know, black and Spanish in our households. You can't have these certain conversations. It looks weak. You're supposed to be able to take care of the family.
Ain't even so much you can't have them. It was just, it was never brought up in general. It was almost like to have those, even, I feel like even in some instances, just certain points of affection. Like I know between like myself, my dad, and my brother, we didn't say I love you a whole lot. And then like my dad, I can count on one hand how many times he said it. But like when they said it, it was like an important thing. Now we're older. Like my brother and I were older. And my dad's gone, but like my brother and I, we're adults. So like we understand, like he deals with things, you know, and he's dealt with a lot. I've dealt with some things. So it's like we say it, but there's just certain things like that, mental health. We don't, it's not even like it's like a don't talk about it. It was just like, it was never a topic. It's kind of weird.
It's taboo in households. And like you said, it's almost, why bring it up and shit? You almost just be like, yo, I'm going through something. And, you know, sometimes, I'm not just going to say black parents, but they'll just be like, everybody going through something. So what? Like, kids in Africa need food, or say some dumb shit like that to you. And you just be like, what does that got to do with, like, my mental health or what I have going on and shit? So it's just, it's a mood point. And, you know, a lot of the older generation didn't give a fuck about any of that. And I'm just glad now you're at a point where, you know, instead of getting prescribed 1,000 fucking pills, you actually can just talk to people about things and, you know, actually just vent that way. As a, you know, I don't want to be drugged up because of certain things. And if you do need pills and stuff like that's fine. But I'm real big on people just being able to express themselves, talk out their feelings, and vent things out as opposed to holding things in. And this felt good. This felt like a therapy session for some people that probably needed it. But yeah, I'm good. Anything else you want to add? Jump in the comments. Tell us how y'all felt about this. This definitely was good. It's a download for me. Jump on the Patreon. We're about to get into the live performance of this. We got the Woozy stuff that's coming up and some other 17 content. The Hive Game stuff is up. Carrots, we're going to holler at y'all. Peace.